Okay, this will be a short video on naming aromatic compounds, which pretty much means compounds that include benzene, or that benzene is the root name. So benzene is the structure, six-membered ring with alternating double and single bonds, and has resonance, so can be drawn with the double bonds in either kind of position, or with just a circle. The circle, in essence, symbolizes the resonance of the pi bonds being shared by all positions. So really, each bond in benzene is identical, and in between a single and double bond. Okay, very common structure. You'll see it very often. So with naming, follows the same rules as alkanes, essentially, where you just name the substituents and then the root name is going to be benzene. There's sometimes some common names. One that you might want to know is in this example. And so there will be a few ways to name this. So any way you choose should be fine. The simplest way with just the numbers and the normal rules would be to, again, think about just giving the substituents the lowest number. And you could go either way because, again, we have a ring. Start wherever you want, go whichever way you want. So 1 or 2, and if we remember the rule, we have methyl and we have bromo being the names of the substituents because the bromo is alphabetically first. That's prioritized for the low number. So we would have 1 bromo, 2 methyl benzene. So remember with these to not say cyclohexane, that would be incorrect. All right, or look to the right. This is something that I would know, and this is only for benzenes, this nomenclature. So again, we don't use this for cyclohexanes. So we have, because it tends to be really common to have 2 substituents, you go into organic chemistry later, and kind of learn the reactions and why this is generally the case. But you have the 2 substituents in, one of 3 scenarios in terms of the pattern of how they're branching. Adjacent is ortho, or in the number scheme, that's just a 1, 2, right? In the meta scheme, that's a 1, 3, and para is 1, 4. So you can use the numbers or ortho, meta, or para, which just mean like the letters. So O stands for ortho. You'll find if you go on in chemistry, most chemists usually use this. So they'll say, O bromomethylbenzene, or M bromomethylbenzene. And the third way of naming it is to say O bromotoluene. Okay, so toluene is methylbenzene. So let me underline this. So if you just were to say toluene, that's just the structure that has a methyl group coming off of benzene. So I think that's in the textbook, maybe in lecture, and you might see it on Alex. So there's a couple more in the book that are sometimes used with benzene, just like common names. You can look at them. I don't think they're that important to memorize. But again, refer to whatever your professor talks about in lecture, and that would be important to just abide by those rules. Okay, so this one we can, again, number either way and say 1, 4 dichlorobenzene. Or what would be the other way of naming it? Well, since we have two substituents, this pattern is para or P. So P dichlorobenzene doesn't sound as dramatic as O dichlorobenzene, but I'm sure it's still a lovely molecule. All right, well, that's a pretty short video. Hopefully it makes sense, and see you in the next video, or I guess talk to you in the next video.